There's no point in trying to not do it. Thank you, Lord. What do you want me to do today? I'm kind of in a bad mood. Music's turned off. I don't have any fucking music on. So why are you wearing headphones? Because the music was playing up until a couple minutes ago. Why are you in a bad mood? Because I haven't eaten. So I'm on a food fast, and a coffee fast, and a money fast. Because there's specific criteria that need to be met before I can eat, before I can fucking do anything. And it makes me want to put my fist, makes me want to punch something really hard that's going to break my hand. But I can't do anything about it. Relinquishing control. That's what I'm being told. Learning to release control. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to be in control all the time. Does that make sense? You can't control anything anyway, so why bother? So you gotta get used to it. This fucking guy. Right. Oh. Cigarette. Always fucking cigarette. But what are the things I try to control the most? Food, money, what's the other one? Coffee? Or drinks. I want to eat really bad. I'm fucking starving. It's the last time you ate? Yesterday. I had a piece of a pastry that was about this big. Why don't you ask God to manifest food for you? It's a good one. No, we have a deal worked out. I told him that as soon as somebody invites me to eat something, that's a sign that I can eat again. What if nobody asks? I don't know. That's assuming that no one's going to ask. The most I've usually seen it go is about 2 days where someone says, hey, do you want something to eat? Hey, I got this. You want some? Hey, there's some scraps. You want to eat some scraps? See, that's another thing I'm trying to get out of. That's a biggie. That's a really big one that I have to kind of like break free from, which is this. Hey, Yamika. Hey, shalom, brother. The idea of pointing the finger and blaming people for my situation. I'm not even in a situation. My situation is not even that. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I'm getting used to it. It's not very often you run into a Jew around here. What? You know, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. What if the dude knew he was talking to some dude who thought he was Moshiach? Some dude who talks to God like Moses. You know, I am Moshiach. What do you mean thinks? Good point. Hey, listen, Jew brother, I may not be your Moshiach, but I am my Moshiach, which means I am Moshiach. So technically, I am Moshiach. I believe that's bulletproof logic right there. Now, I was actually just reading through, digging a little bit more into the Gated Trust, chapter 4, which is like a heavy one. This is a heavy one. So chapter 4 of the Gated Trust is breaking down the seven matters that one needs to put absolute trust in Hashem in. So Hashem, if you can help me out with this one, if you feel like I'm stuttering or if I'm stumbling, because this one's a lot. So there's two main categories. There is this world, the matters of this world, and then there is the matters pertaining to the world to come. What's the world to come? You know, how do we explain that? I know that there's people who can break that down. I was gonna say better than me, but I don't know if I would say better. Different. But yeah, because there's some people who've been studying this, trying to understand it longer than I have, but longer doesn't mean better. Especially if you're just repeating what somebody else said. So what's the world to come? It's the world, it's life when life doesn't look like it does right now anymore. And we could say it's the afterlife. Some people, I would imagine some people would recognize the world to come as the afterlife, heaven. But on the flip side, it's also like what we go through phases in life. My life didn't always look like this. The world that was, I had a house, well, I had a condo. Make a difference. Splitting hairs. I had a condo, I had a wife, I had a kid, I had a career, I had a 12-year career. Technically, I'm in the world to come from the perspective of the guy that I was. I don't think the way I did. I don't live the way I did. I don't do any of the things that I used to do. I'm already 6 years in. And then before that, even before that, my life was different. What do you call them? Those epochs of our lives, right? Go through several different epochs of our lives. Maybe like 5, 10, 7-year clips. Before things make a radical shift. Sometimes that's not for everybody though. Not everybody recognizes that. Sometimes people are fucking they live the same life over and over and over and over. same day over and over again for their entire life, most of their life. So like, what's the world to come? The world that everything I'm doing right now is predicable of what I'm doing in the future. So the world to come is the future. What comes next? I'm not necessarily after I die, but maybe what the next phase of my life is going to look like. Because I'm preparing for something. That much is like, that much is really clear to me. I can only speak for myself. I don't know about nobody else. Like I don't like speaking for other people. Although I do it sometimes, and when I do, I try to catch myself and course correct. Like even this kind of work is. Oh my god. Just want to get to my turn so I don't have to fucking deal with this guy. It's dumb. Looks like we have the same idea. Right, because we don't know what's going to come. Technically, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, right? That's the saying. But to one degree or another, we can at least have an idea. I know that no matter what, the stickers. Don't be hangry. That no matter what, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. But tomorrow, everything that happens tomorrow is going to be predicated on everything that's happening right now. And I woke up this morning, I was thinking about my time in Lancaster. When I was working with Hugo Boss, keeping the Lancaster outlet open. Which was like a 4-month expedition, which was really cool. It was a pain in the ass. It was actually one of the most painful, one of the most difficult tasks I have ever been responsible for. And technically I wasn't even responsible for anything. I just took on more responsibility than was being asked of me. I don't like the word overachiever because that implies that I just do. I like to do things. And I knew that if I didn't do what nobody else was willing to do, then I was never going to be able to get the fuck out of there. And I had a vision of what I wanted to do as well, which was really cool. I wanted to put the whole store back together and train a team that I was proud of, that I was sure would be capable of managing and running the store so that I could go home. My intention was that I would continue being paid. But that didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. Technically. But I was lying in bed this morning because I couldn't get up at first. I'd like to lie there for about maybe like half hour, 45 minutes. Just and keep my eyes shut and just let the thoughts cycle until I'm ready to get up. What if? Stop asking what if. I hate what if. There is no what if. That's what is. I spend so much time fucking worrying about what if. You're gonna miss everything that's going on. You're gonna miss everything that is. Keep on worrying about what is not. You're gonna miss what is. I was thinking about the friends I made, the times we had, but most importantly, I was thinking about how I was the one holding everything together, how I held everything together the way that I did. And I was thinking about the tactics that I used to do that, because I didn't have anybody that was rooting me on for the right reasons. I didn't have anybody rooting me on at all. It was challenging to even find someone to even help me without having to bribe them. But even when I was in that situation, I could see this is because of me. This is because of me. Because I'm the one doing the shit that nobody else wants to do. It's at least encouraging some people to put in some extra effort. And one of the things that I did in the very beginning, because I'm a masochist, is I would set an alarm on my phone that would go off at 9 o'clock every morning. Just in time, was it 9 or 8? It might have been 8. It was before I would go downstairs to eat breakfast in the hotel. Oh, the hotel breakfast. I miss it. It wasn't the best, but it was the best. So what I would do, I had this alarm go off every morning. A reminder, because I love my reminders. So on my phone, you'll notice that there's 3 main alarms that go off right now. They go off like every 45 minutes, I think. You are the king of the Jews. You are Moshiach. A frog. But there's like a I don't know if that's even big enough to call a stream, but there's another frog. It's a small body of water. So every morning I would have this alarm that would go off. Today's gonna be the hardest day ever. Why the fuck would you want that? For a good reason. I want today to be the hardest day ever, and I got a reminder of that this morning. I got so comfortable over this last year. I got really comfortable having magical days and easy days. Not easy days, but I don't think any day's fucking easy. No. By the time it's done, I guess. I could challenge. I could appreciate a challenge. If I play a video game or something, like I try to get in the habit of putting on the hardest difficulty. Which reminds me, I don't know if that's playing a Jew in this life just happens to be like dialing up, putting the fucking difficulty setting on nightmare mode. Shalom, brother. Why am I thinking about that? Oh, is he still thinking about that? Never seen a Jew over here before. I didn't know there was any Jews in this area. He had a Jew nose. Do I have a Jew nose? Besides the fucking the kippah, is that how you tell a Jew by their nose? I don't know. I don't know if I have a Jew nose. My ex-wife said I had a Jew nose. I think she said I had a Jew nose. I think Italians and Jews, they kind of have the same nose, right? Jews. Oy. No, every day, today's gonna be the hardest day ever. And you know what? While I was in that store, it really was. That's how it played out every single day. Every day was the hardest day ever. I wanted to quit so fucking badly. I couldn't stand it. I hated it so much. That was the worst job. That was the worst gig I've ever done. And mind you, I wasn't even an employee. I went there to help out in October of 2022. It was 3 weeks after I quit. I was working at the outlet in Atlantic City, and I quit. I didn't quit. I mean, I put my 2 weeks in. I resigned. Because I wanted to come back to my own work. I had been working there for about a year as an experiment. And technically, I wasn't even supposed to be. I didn't mean to be there that long. At first, it was a means in which to restock my money. But also, I wanted to put my magic to the work too, because I've been studying magic and witchcraft and all sorts of metaphysics and fun stuff for a while, and I wanted to see how I would do if I were to bring those skills out into the real world. And an opportunity to work for the company had popped up. Perfect timing. And I wanted to see how I could use my magic to fucking climb the ranks as quickly as possible. And within a year, I was running a fucking store in Lancaster. With the company paying my hotel, paying for my food, paying for my travel. 'Cause I had to travel from New Jersey to Pennsylvania regularly. At least maybe once every 2-3 weeks. Like I do sometimes 2-3 week stretches there. I mean, I got a Marriott, I think I'm a Marriott Platinum member now. That's because I waited until the last month. Right? Was it last month or was it December? I finally got the Marriott membership in December. And then over 2 months I fucking jacked it up. I stayed there so many days that I accumulated enough points to become a platinum member. Which has its perks. It does have perks. Those perks actually, the perks I received from being a platinum member actually saved my ass 3 months later when Hugo Boss, when the company didn't follow through on a promise they made, and I was in another store far away, and I didn't have the money in my bank account to pay for my hotel, but I had just enough Marriott points accumulated that I could cover the weekend until corporate got back into the office and I can lose my shit. And when I lost my shit, that's when the VP of sales for the Northeast, Mr. Kieran, he called me right the fuck up. Mr. Derek, thank you so much. All the work you're doing. We'll make sure we get your stay on Frank's card. Credit card. So sorry for the inconvenience. We don't want to inconvenience you ever again because of this. So very sorry. I know. And then from that week, that was the best because at that point on, my entire stay at that hotel was on the company card. And mind, there's limits. I wasn't one for taking full advantage. I only took advantage to the point where I felt like I was being taken advantage of. Which wasn't even much. I'd have my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. I would make sure I had 3 meals a day. And my Starbucks in the morning. It's the hotel, it's a really nice hotel. They had a little bar restaurant downstairs and a Starbucks that was connected to it. I was only there for 2 weeks, but it was that first weekend that I was there. That's when I even called the district manager. I was like, yo, I don't know if I have enough money to cover for this. Well, if you don't have it, you can go home. What? What? Yeah, but you said somebody was going to help me. But like I said, like I had that Marriott points. And those Marriott points, they paid off double. So I got the Marriott points because I was doing the job in Lancaster. And then 3 months later, those Marriott points, which were my points, those were my fucking points. They came in handy because they paid for that weekend when I had no money. And then last summer, when I was going through this same thing, when I was doing this money fast, money famine, I had a fight with the company to get my money back. I told them, I was like, listen, those points, those are my points. You guys are supposed to reimburse me for everything I spent. So I want the money back for those points. And they paid me. I think it was like $600. That fucking hotel wasn't cheap. So I didn't get my points back, but I did get the money equivalent. Then there was some overtime they didn't pay me for either. But no, I think the probably the coolest part about that whole experience was how when I look back on how the entire sequence of events worked out, I call it the Hugo's Boss saga. Hugo's Boss. And I show them who the fucking boss was. And mind you, I got blackballed. Definitely got blackballed. Which is okay, it was worth it. It was so worth it. And you know what the fucking irony is like there's a store, there's two stores in Atlantic City. There's the Borgata store too, and the Borgata Hotel and Casino Resort. I've been wanting to work there since 2019. When I was in Lancaster, I told the district, like, that's where I want to go. And they're looking for somebody. So it's perfect. And they didn't give it to me. You didn't tell her why? I don't know if that's really why. If Kim was the reason why. I'm sure that Kim played a role, but even the manager at the time, Teal, he had a conversation. He was telling me about a conversation that he had with Josie, my previous manager from the outlet, and Josie didn't have anything good to say about me, from what Teal told me, which is a problem for me because that sounded like it was like a bunch of petty shit that they were talking about. But now my brother is the guy Teal left, and my brother is actually the manager there, and he needs someone desperately, a part-time person, which is exactly what I would love to do. I would love to be a part-time key holder there, but I'm not going to ask for the job because I refuse to. I don't chase that shit. It's something that God has taught me to do. Don't you ever chase money again. Poor people chase money. You are a servant of the Most fucking High. Money chases you. Okie dokie. I'll take your word for it. I trust you. Which is hard. You know, going back to like being in control. That's a really hard. That's a hard concept to integrate. That's a harsh reality to fucking integrate. Is I don't have to chase money anymore. I don't have to do shit like that. Why? Because God told me I don't have to. Because when the time is right, I'm going to receive so much compensation for the work I've been doing over the past 6 years that I'm set for I'm set for generations. Do you believe that? Like, that's, what are you fucking talking about? Hey, man, God had, over the past 44 years of my life, and even if we go back further than that, I'm just counting just in this body, the past 44 years of my life, God has done more than enough to prove to me to earn my trust. And trust is not belief. Don't get those two confused. Because trust is called bitahon in Hebrew. Bitahon and belief, these are two different things. Believing in God is one thing. Trusting in God is a whole other thing. And that's what I was getting at when I was talking about the Gate of Trust. It's a book that was written by Rabbi Bakyan Bakuda. It's the fourth book of a 10-volume series on service to God. Now, mind you, Jews have a much different relationship with God than Christians and any other people that you could possibly imagine. Like, we have a direct one-on-one relationship connection with Hashem. A magical relationship, because it's real magic. It's completely out of the norm. It's not, you can't understand it using conventional logic unless you accept that God, the Creator, wants the best for His creations. Each individual gets the best of what they deserve. But you gotta work for it. Nothing's for free. There's no silver spoon in the mouth. That's not even a thing, by the way. Don't ever fucking say someone was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They work just as hard for their life as you do. Maybe harder. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Well, you know what? Neither was I. But I can guarantee you, every single fucking one of those people who was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, they work a fucking million times harder than you have ever even conceived. You wouldn't be able to handle their life. That's why they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, because those are the type of people that can handle the type of work that needs to get done in order to maintain that type of life. You want to be a fucking waiter for the rest of your life? Go ahead. Not everybody strives for that. Some people want what they consider to be more. Like me, I want more than that. I ain't no fucking sales associate for Hugo Boss. I tried it out because I wanted the experience. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that I knew I wasn't gonna like, because I don't have too many sales skills. I've never had a sales job like that before. But you know what was really fun about it? And for the first year, when I was at the outlet, I was working underneath. I was the low man on the totem pole, which was fine. It was good because I got to learn. I was able to learn and observe and watch the people who have been more experienced than me. I never worked retail before like that. I never worked retail like that before. That was high-end men's retail. I'm fucking in an outlet. It's not like... So when I had left after a year to come back to my own work, recalibrate myself, because I was getting lost in this little fantasy land world that I was in. But it was good to get to take a step back and be able to like remember exactly what my mission was and why I had gotten into that field in the first place. But once I got the phone call to see if I could help out in Lancaster, all of the skills that I had picked up, everything I had observed, even my way of doing things, I went there to help. Originally, I went there to help out the manager because all of her employees left. 5 days into me being there, I only met the manager once. I met her once, and then on day 6, she left. She resigned, and there was nobody left. It was just me and a part-timer. It was just me and one part-timer who was disabled. So I had to put everything that I had picked up over the year at the outlet to work in this other outlet. And mind you, there was technically no manager, but everybody looked up to me as the manager because I was the one who was the direct connect with the regional manager. So I had to do all the shit work that I didn't want to be doing. Well, I had to do all the shit work that the manager was supposed to be doing. It's intense. They kicked the shit out of me. And that's why every morning I have my alarm go off. Today's gonna be the hardest day ever. And every day was the hardest day ever, between people calling out, people not coming in, having to explain myself, having to explain daily reports, or having to explain daily reports to the regional, because he didn't have anybody. Because he had a boss, he had to fucking explain himself too. And that guy had a boss, he had to explain himself too. It was a shit show. But it was not a shit show. It worked out beautifully because the store survived. Thanks to me. Thanks to Hashem. And the reason I did that, today's gonna be the hardest day ever. I was doing an experiment. This is happening for me. It's not happening to me. I wanted to reprogram myself to be able to see that, to think that way naturally, like on an everyday basis. And it's something I had been doing for a while, especially when I was working at the outlet down here for that year. I would have, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8, 9, 10 alarms that would go off over the course of the day. Every hour, every half hour. Some would repeat, some would only play once. It was a lot. But you know what? Every single time one of those alarms, but they were like little reminders. This is happening for me, not to me. I'm walking the golden path of my soul with a smile. Don't get to pat yourself on the back. I got this shit. Love you too. Thank you, Hashem. I love you too. See, because it's easy for me to get lost in when things are difficult. Because in my old life, in the world that was, in the life that was, I used to blame everybody. A lot of the times I would blame everybody. I would always be back and forth, blaming other people, blaming myself. You didn't do shit with your life. Fuckers just sat around playing video games, doing drugs, wasting your life for people who amount to nothing. You didn't even do anything. Got no education. My biggest fear when I was in the graphic industry was people were going to find out that I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just fucking winging it. Everyone's like that. I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about me. It's not my business what other people do. And if there are people that are doing this, that were doing the same thing as me, hey, then you know what? Take this as some advice. Because I got myself out of it. I was blessed. Torah threads. If my life didn't work out exactly the way that it was, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because it was in June 2018 when I said no more. I had enough. The company I was working with, Vending Trucks Incorporated, great company. They do really cool shit. It's a vending truck manufacturer. Food trucks. Right? But whether they knew it or not, they crossed an invisible boundary with me. I'm not the type of person to tell you what my boundaries are. Because sometimes I don't know them until they're crossed. And what ended up happening was I got my boundary was pushed and I said, no more, I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm done. I went home. I mean, it took a long time for me to build up the courage to fucking let that job go. But that night I said no. If you want to follow this path, and mind you, at the time, that job was secondary to me. I had been, I just started reading cards for people because I wanted to find a way to I wanted to make my life more mystical, more spiritual. And I had picked up, some oracle cards, some demon cards specifically. And I was using them with people to, how do you say it? Alternative therapy is what we were doing. It was fucking amazing. Like coaching. And I had only been doing it for a few weeks, but it was something I had been studying divination techniques, art forms for about 8 months at that point. So it wasn't that it was completely new to me. It was new to me in the sense that, oh, I have never worked with another person like this before. But I took to it really, really well. And every session that I had was fucking amazing. Oh, you're one of those people I didn't fucking charge anybody, asshole. I never charged anybody. 150 people I worked with. I never charged one person during that summer. I charged a couple people a couple years ago, but I didn't like doing that, so I stopped. That's not something that's really good for making money, unless you're a fraud. But it had come to a point for me where it was, you gotta shit or get off the pot. This job is safe. This job is cozy, and I knew that. That wasn't in question at all. Ow. Yo, fucking hair, dude. I need some serious hair care. It's not that, see what I'm talking about? Like, my hair just fucking comes the fuck out. Probably from malnourishment, dehydration, all types of shit. It's all fucking dry too. I'm sorry. But it got to a point where I was already on the edge with getting the fuck out of that place. I have this all written down. It's all in my first book. How to Break a Life. The desire to get out of that industry had been something that had been going on for a long time, actually. It was even further back, October 2017, when I realized I had to make a serious change. In 2017, I was already 10 years, 11 years into that career. I hated it. I've been wanting to get out for as long as I can remember, since I fucking got into it. I used to think, because I'm one of those people that when I have a job, I overdo it. I go extra. I mean, sometimes it doesn't seem that way to anyone but me, which is why I don't like it. Which is why I don't like working for people. because people don't appreciate me the way I want to be appreciated, and then I get like resentful, and it's like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing here for? Like, this is just wasting my goddamn time, bro. I got time for this bullshit. But then you're stuck. And as soon as I had my son, it was like I can't go anywhere now. Now I'm fucked. I'm seriously fucked because I don't have a backup. I don't have a fucking education. I dropped out of school for this job. And you know what? I'm glad I did. I'm glad everything had to go exactly the way that it did. It worked out perfectly. When I look back on how my life has played out over the past 44 years, everything was strategically placed. Which is hard to recognize unless you're me. I can see how each phase of my life, each one of the days of creation, they each one played into the next. I dropped out of school to go into the graphic industry, which is where I was for 12 years. But the only reason I stayed, I believe, is because of my son. The only reason I didn't kill myself is because I ended up having a son. That was my plan. My original plan when I was 12 years old was to kill myself. Well, I had two plans. Right now I'm living out my other one. That's a good point. Well, I'm sitting with that for a second. Because that's like a... Oh, shit. I remember having that thought this morning. I remember having the thought of my mother asked me, so what do you do? What is it that you're doing? I'm fulfilling a childhood dream, is what I'm doing, with God's full endorsement. God is endorsing me to follow my childhood dreams, which I wasn't able to actualize until I was a grown-ass man. Because everything I'm doing, it would be impossible for me to do what I'm doing any sooner in my life, because the world itself wasn't in the place it needed to be, I needed it to be in. Does that make sense? I'm a fatalist, by the way. And a firm believer in retrocausality. Well, I know it's not even that I believe in it. Student of it. Student of retrocausality. Retrocausality. Causality is every cause has an effect, every effect has a cause, right? Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Something happens, so something else happens because that one thing that happened. So now reverse that. The reason for the thing, the effect is the catalyst. The intention of the effect is the catalyst for the cause that brings the effect into manifestation. As in, the future comes before the past. Does that make sense? No? It shouldn't. It should make your head hurt a little bit. Because the idea of it is like, what? How the fuck? So, predestiny. Some things are predestined. So I don't imagine everything's predestined. But it doesn't look like that until after the fact. Right? Hindsight is 20/20. So, and I can't speak for anybody else. And mind you, and also, this child, one of the aspects of the childhood dream that I'm fulfilling is writing and journaling every day of my life. I have 7 years worth of journals every fucking day. Well, I don't want to say every day. I'd say 95% of every day for the past 6 years has been I've written something. And it's a little bit more than that as well. It's also a science book. It's a journal, it's a science book, it's a science journal. It's a research project. It's all my thoughts, everything I'm doing. It's all in there. All organized by day, month on the secular calendar, the Hebrew calendar, I just started using the Islamic calendar, the sidereal zodiac, the Western zodiac, sun and moon placements from the sidereal and Western perspectives. So I keep a really meticulous. I keep meticulous notes. Everything is very intentional. It's a toxic method. So, when I was 12, I had the idea. One of my fears was I would grow up and not remember things. So, what I wanted to do, the idea that I had back then, was to start a journal. Start journaling, where I would write about my day every single day. Whatever. What did I do today? What did I eat today? Who did I see today? What did I think about? What video games did I play? What books did I read? Right? So that in the future, if I ever needed to remember something, or if I ever wanted to remember something, I could just go to that particular journal, flip to that day, scroll through and go, that's what I did that day. I remember all that. Right? So it didn't dawn on me. That was the cool thing, is like that didn't dawn on me that was what I was doing until about a year or two into the project. And then it kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, oh fuck, I totally forgot about this. I wanted to do this when I was 12. Good thing I didn't. Well, the good thing I didn't, because I have so many fucking books written by now. Right now I have 170 that are compressed within about 60, or 80 rather. 80 notebooks. Each notebook contains 2 journals. So I write small. I was inspired by, if you ever saw the movie Seven, right? The movie Seven, when Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, they go into John Doe's house for the first time, and they find all of his journals, and then they open up the journals. I got the same fucking ones, the composites. So I remember when I was a kid, that's when I saw that. When I saw that for the first time, I'm like, yo, I fucking love that idea. But when they open up his journals, he writes two lines of text per printed line per page. So so in a 100-page notebook, you're getting 200 pages worth of real estate. It's smart. So I title each one also. So that's how they get differentiated. So once you title first, then we write. This way, well, you need organization. These fucking notebooks, they only come in so many colors, and Walmart, they only sell black ones now. So it's like I got to work with what I got to work with. But not to mention, I was already doing that. I was already titling them from the very beginning. That's not even a question. But when you get to the seam in the middle, like once you get to page 50 and then 51, there's that threaded seam that goes down the middle to let you know that you reach the middle point of the notebook. That's where one book ends, and then the next book begins on page 51. Do you title it? Yeah, of course I title it. There's a couple double wides I did. What's a double wide? A double wide is where it's not 2 books, it's 1. So there's just the one title on the cover, and then it's a double wide. It's 200 pages instead of 100 pages. And what I mean by that is 200 pages worth of written word. And then also at the same time, like I was saying about the sun and the moon. So I keep track of the sun, where the sun is in relation to the zodiac, as well as the moon. So the moon goes around every 30 days, but as the sun's going around, it shifts. So it's never the same. So every month it's different. so there's the zodiac's a really good calendar. That's what it is. It's not I mean, you can predict things to a degree, but I can tell you where the moon's going to be in 11 or 15 weeks. In 11 or 15 weeks, there's going to be... Why 11 or 15 weeks? It's anomaly within the lunar cycles. The annual lunar cycles. It self-corrects every 19 years. But I haven't figured it out completely yet. I know it's there. It took me some time to figure out that it was even there, but now that I know it's there, it's just a matter of finding the pattern. Because there's a repeating pattern in it, and I just don't know what it is yet. Because you have to look at it over the course of an extended period of time, which is difficult. I don't have all that data just yet. But the fact that I know that the data is there, that's why I'm not in a rush. Because I know how to get to it. I just don't have the time just yet. Because I also look at it like this: is the advancements that I made in moonology, just on my own. I don't need to rush it that far just yet. It's not gonna. There's no immediate need for it. And if there is, then somebody else can find it. Go ahead. It's not like anyone's paying me for this stuff anyway. I'm just doing it because it's my job. And right now I'm just being tested. Are you willing to do this without getting paid for it? Because that was a question that used to come up, especially when I was working in the graphic industry, and this was something that I used to fucking say to myself all the time. It's like, would you be doing this if you weren't getting paid to be doing it? Hell no. Oh, hell no. If I wasn't getting a paycheck for this? No. So what is something that you would be doing if you weren't getting paid to be doing it? Oh, well, I'm doing it. It's difficult. It's trying, that's for sure. Because I want money. Why do I want money? So I go to the fucking Chinese buffet, because I haven't been to the Chinese buffet in months. That's why. So I can go buy a pack of cigarettes, because I haven't bought a pack of cigarettes in months. So I can get a new belt. As much as I like my Hugo Boss belt, it's not the one I want. The belt I want is at fucking Hot Topic right now. And the Chinese buffet that I want to go to is not the one that's down the street from here. It's the one by Hot Topic, by the mall. I want to go to the fucking dispensary and get some gummies or a pen. Pop pen. I want to be able to pay my Lyft driver to fucking take me. That's what I want. These are the things I want money for. These are the things that I was using money for over the past 6 months so that we can get to this point. And then when the money dried up, I had to fucking give up on everything and just keep on working though. The work didn't stop. The luxuries that came with the work went away. So I don't have a luxurious lifestyle anymore. 2 gummies a day. 1 gummy at 1:30. What time is it now? It's 12:30. I wouldn't even be on my first gummy yet. My first gummy is at 1:30, and then my second gummy is at between 6:30 and 7:30, depending on the day. It was a routine. I don't just fucking sit around getting high all day. Until I started integrating the pens, and then that's when I was getting... Well, I wouldn't smoke the pen until 1:30. But I'm gonna tell you right now, do you take a gummy and then start studying Aristotle? Fuck, you're going to a whole new realm. Speaking of which, I have to get back and do that. chapter 6 of prior analytics. About to be introduced to the third type of syllogism. The third form. The third figure. And it's interesting, I was thinking about this morning. You know what? I'm glad we're bringing this up because I had a thought. So the first figure is major premise, middle premise, minor premise. Then the second form is middle premise, major premise, minor premise. Then the third form is minor premise, major premise, minor premise, middle premise. So there's 3 forms. So each form in its own way is a premise. So the way I was thinking of it this morning is that within each syllogism, each premise of each syllogism is a syllogism of its own. If you really want to fucking brain fuck the shit out of it. Mind you, I'm only on chapter 6. I'm not a master of syllogism. But I was talking to Derek Moshiach yesterday. Who's Derek Moshiach? I thought you said you were Moshiach. Well, Derek Moshiach is future Derek. Derek Moshiach is future Derek who is living in the world to come. He's been there since... Aw, how cute. It's an old couple and they're holding hands. So ever since I was a kid, probably about 7 or 8 is when he first revealed himself to me. Future Moshiach revealed himself to you when Derek Moshiach revealed himself to you when you were 7 or 8. Future Derek revealed himself to me to let me know, because I hated my life ever since I was a kid. But future Derek was the one who told me that he comes from a future that would seem impossible right now. But his mission is to make sure to guide me down the path I need to go down to ensure that I grow up to be him. He hasn't let me down once. So I trust in future Derek. And since developing my relationship with Hashem revealed to me that future Derek has a future Derek. So I'm in the present, future Derek's in the future. So who's in the future in relation to future Derek? That's Derek Moshiach. Derek Moshiach is the future Derek of future Derek. So we got a whole fucking line of Dereks that are at it all day, even in the future that I haven't even seen yet. So Derek Moshiach, he is the gatekeeper of the world to come, essentially. I trust him. I trust him as the Son of God. I trust him. I trust him as much as I trust his Father. You know what's funny? You know what's annoying is like when I talk, I hear my teeth click. I always wonder if other people can hear that. Oh, God. Prior analytics. Yeah, it's really dope. It's really dope. Prior analytics is predicated on the work that I was doing with On Interpretation, which was another just brutal, that was a brutal book to get through. Which came after categories. I'm noticing that the past several videos that I've made, like I talk about this, but it's something you should be proud of. Not many people can get through one Aristotle book, let alone 2.5. It's not 2.5 yet. I cheated. I skipped ahead last night, and I saw that the first book of Prior Analytics is 46 chapters long. It's fucking long. And mind you, the chapters are about like 4 or 5 pages on my fucking phone screen, so that ain't shit. But the thing is, so I read them first just to kind of prime my brain. And then I'm going to go back and then I write it out sentence by sentence. I write out one sentence and then I write about my thoughts. What is that sentence making me think? How am I interpreting this? Sometimes a sentence, an Aristotle sentence, requires about a half hour worth of analyzing because of all of the meat that's inside of it. It's a lot. These are big ideas that are compressed into little sentences. But we're also talking about a man that lived 2,400 years ago, 2,500 years ago, in a fucking alien civilization. We have no idea what it was like for those people. But at the same time, I don't see anybody like that alive today. I don't think that there's any great minds like that. We got the shit end of the stick. Human civilization right now, I think, is at a decline. It's at its lowest point ever. People are stupid. I think people now are dumber than they have ever been. Ever. Ignorance is... The more ignorant you are, the more you're celebrated, apparently. I choose not to be ignorant, though. No, that's not true. I do love ignorance. I love ignorance. I love my ignorance. I like to be the most ignorant person ever. Because the more that I don't know, the more that I'm ignorant to, the more that I know that I don't know. And the more that there is to learn. It's all about learning how to think, not what to think. Most people today, I believe, based on my own experience, are consumed with what to think. Not many people know how to think. They let other people do their thinking for them, and that's a huge issue. That's a huge fucking issue, especially in America. I think it's everywhere. You have politicians and global leaders. I use that word lightly. Let's call them politicians. Don't call them leaders. Call them politicians. Call a spade a spade. Politicians and rulers who tell people what to think. God forbid people knew how to think. If people knew how to think, those people would be out the fucking door. But that's why I believe God activated me. Because I don't buy into that shit. I don't bow down to fucking anyone except for God. Thank you, Hashem. I don't have to. I'm a Jew. Which is demonstrated really well by Brother Mordecai in the Book of Esther. I love that. Everybody used to bow to this man named Haman. He wasn't even the fucking king. He was one of the king's underlings. But the king decreed that people would bow down to Haman whenever he entered the room. Mordecai said, no, I ain't bowing to this nigger. Ain't bowing to him. And eventually, the people noticed. Of course people noticed. You Got the one guy in the room. Mordecai's the one guy in the room who's not fucking bowing down. So they grab him. They're like, yo, what are you doing? Why aren't you bowing down to Hammond? Like everybody does. So I'm a Jew. I ain't bowing to him. You are a king of the Jews. Thank you. Thank you, Hashem. It's 1 o'clock. I'm hungry. Why don't you eat? I will when it's offered to me. It's a risky way of looking at it, I know. But I don't contribute to buying the food in the house, so I don't really get much say. I have pride. And Hashem already knows I'm not happy with the idea of me even eating food that isn't mine. I don't like it. 6 years later, come on, man. Let's go. But fudge. I don't get a say on that. Like I don't get control over when the money comes in and when the money doesn't come in. It's not up to me. Nothing is up to me. And that's the hard part about living this life, is that I don't get a say because I don't have control. People could go, you can do whatever you want. No, I can't. No, I really can't. You have no idea. If you think that's the way, then you have no fucking clue. I don't get a say. I don't have that luxury like other people do. I already submit my free will to God because I don't want it. I don't want free will. I want Him to make all my decisions for me. I want Him to tell me where to go, what to do, how to do it. So you want to be a slave? Yeah, just like everybody else. Who tells you what to do? I'm of the opinion that if you work for money, you don't have free will. Your will is decided by your employer, whether you'd like to admit it or not. You got somebody signing your paychecks? You got somebody else telling you how to live your life. I tell you what time do you wake up in the morning to go to your job? Would you be waking up at that time? Do you gotta commute? Would you be driving to that place if you weren't getting paid to drive there? You're not even getting paid to drive there. That's funny. You don't get paid to drive there. You only get paid when you clock in. They don't even accommodate you for driving into a place. Going out of your way. You're going out of your way to go to a place. And they can't even compensate you for that. You got an alarm clock? You got an alarm clock that goes off? Do you love alarm clocks? Do you not use an alarm clock on the weekends or on your days off? How many days off do you usually get? Do you ever get called on your days off to talk about work? You ever have to go to work on your day off? Right? Do you ever say yes when you wanted to say no? Do you ever have to ask for permission to go on break or to go home early because you had to take care of something and then somebody says no or gives you a hard time? You ever get that, that feeling when you have to, like, when you're genuinely sick, you have to call out and you know that you're going to get a hard time? You know that feeling? Do you love that feeling? but you do it anyway. This place will fucking fall apart without me. Nah, it won't. You're replaceable, trust me. Don't stay because you think the place is gonna fall apart. I have a friend, and she's like, when my mother dies, I'm gonna kill myself. I might as well do it now. You'd probably be doing her a favor. Just like with your job. Your job ain't gonna fall apart. The company ain't gonna fall apart just because you leave. You'd be doing them a favor. You don't even want to fucking be there. Never trust an employee who's just there for a paycheck. Those are facts. I say that shit all the time. I'm not an employee. I work for myself, by the way. I hate employees. I would never hire anybody. That's why I do as much as I do. That's why I strain my brain. Because I don't ever want to have to rely on an employee. Ever. Because you cannot rely on employees. I'm an entrepreneur, by the way. I don't just fucking fuck off. This is like a log. This is like a video journal entry. How to work for God. Yeah, no, I know I work for God. I'm a slave for God, but God's also my business partner. Like, right now, I'm on the clock. I've been on the clock all day, every day since August 25th, 2020. That's just legally. Before the legal entity was even formed, this shit's been going on since, this shit's been going on since June 3rd, 2018. And to a degree, we could argue that I've been working for myself for a lot longer than that too, because I used to have a photography business for a little while. But I didn't have anything like this. This is completely different what I'm doing now. This is legacy building 101. You know what Abraham was doing? Like people shit on Abraham in the Bible. Like what was that guy fucking doing? You know what he was doing? He was building a fucking legacy. He was building a fucking empire. He wasn't just building a fucking religion. There's no fucking religion in the Bible at all. What the fuck? You out of your mind? These are people living a fucking life. Following their instincts, following the intuition, following the voice. People like Abraham, they'll fucking chew you up and spit you out like a fucking ball of gum. The fuck out of here. People shit on Abraham because of what he did to Isaac. What the fuck are you talking about? What he did to Isaac? He did Isaac the biggest favor of his life. He made that boy into a fucking man. That was called a rite of passage. Thank you, Hashem. And the fucking doughboys couldn't even fucking handle fucking not eating lunch today. I only ate one time today. Yeah, Nick, I haven't eaten I had fucking a piece of fucking flake pastry yesterday afternoon. I'm going fucking hard. This is a fucking occult ritual that I'm doing. It is. It's called self-denial. How many people actually know what self-denial is and how it works? Oh, I didn't jerk off this one time. Good for you, dude. Give yourself a fucking pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back for not jerking off. Why don't you try not eating for a couple days? The longest I went is 3 days. I don't know if it was a full 72 hours, but I know it was day 1, day 2, and then by that 3rd day, you're fucked. Like tomorrow, I'm praying, please, God, Hashem, please let my mom say something. Hey, I got some food in there if you want some. Yeah, please, absolutely, definitely. I will eat the fuck out of it. I will eat the fucking hell out of it. But those are the rules. Those are the rules of the game that we're fucking playing. Until somebody says, hey, do you want something? You need something? I ain't asking nobody to fucking make it for me, but I have to be invited. I have to. I'm not going in the kitchen just gonna start making shit with food that isn't mine. Unless it gets that desperate. I mean, because here's the thing: is beast mode, animal mode, right? survival mode. Sometimes the body goes into fucking autopilot. We go into autopilot, and it's just like, fuck, I gotta eat. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about anything. And ain't nobody knows what I'm doing. Nobody needs to know what the fuck I'm doing, because one, if I fucking tell people what I'm doing, they're gonna shit on it and try to put you out of your fucking mind. That's such a stupid idea. Fuck you. Or I cut your fucking tongue out. Don't ever fucking talk to me like that again. I don't have that, like, one, you can't talk to people like that. Two, I don't have the fucking energy to be fucking talking to people like that. So that's why we're doing this shit now. I'm getting all this shit out. The point of fasting and the point of self-denial like that, like you're it's not just to lose weight. I am not trying to lose weight. I don't think I need to lose any more weight. I'm good. But what we're learning is fucking discipline. It's discipline. Do you understand what that word is? Like, what the hell is that word? Yeah, discipline doesn't mean just saying please and thank you. Discipline is like, fucking David Goggins. I feel like David Goggins just popped in my head. The Jewish David Goggins. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I didn't know David Goggins isn't a Jew. I don't. He might be. I don't think so. I listened to his first book. And then I started reading a little bit of his second book, and I didn't get through it. Because I had other shit going on. I should get back to that book, by the way. That was a good book. What was about the second book that didn't appeal to me? Because I kept on catching him, like, talking shit on people. Like, I don't know, that's what it felt like to me. It felt like he was, like, putting other people down, like his brother. He was saying some shit about his brother. And in my head, I'm really self-righteous, by the way. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, this dude, he can't look at something. There's something about himself that he's projecting onto his brother. And I kind of lost respect for that. I wasn't able, and I kind of just put the book down. I never picked it back up again. But at the same time, I also recognize, like, I don't know what comes next. Like, I don't know what the rest of this story is all about. So maybe I'll get to it. I got enough books I'm fucking going through right now. David Goggins, please get the fuck out of my head. Be gone. So we're learning a different kind of discipline. We're learning fucking big boy discipline. This is the type of discipline that fucking God wants every single Jew to embody. I'm only doing this for God. If not for God, I'd kill myself by now. I don't want to fucking live in this life. This life sucks. The only cool thing about it is God. God makes my life cool. I used to think it was me. I used to think it was magic. I used to think it was like the witchcraft and the sorcery and the wizardry and all the metaphysics. And yeah, I wasn't wrong, but all of that stuff, it comes from God. So He has afforded me a lifestyle that I can devote my life to all those things and to understanding them better, but at a cost. It ain't free. You can say I live free, but everything I have to give up in order, I'm fucking losing my hair. I'm fucking 44. I live with my mom's in a spare room. My brother's out on a weekend, a 4-day bachelor party. What the fuck am I doing? I'm sitting at home in the house with my mom and my fucking stepfather. They probably would rather be alone by themselves so they can have sex and have the house to themselves for a little fucking bit. I don't have a girlfriend, don't have a phone, don't have a fucking car, don't have a license, I don't have anything. I don't have a relationship with my son. I don't have a relationship with my ex-wife. I don't have a relationship with her family. I don't have a relationship with my nieces. I don't have a relationship with anybody except for myself and fucking Hashem. I got 54 cents in my bank account. I don't know where, when, how, if I'm ever going to see money again. God tells me to trust. Don't worry about it. There's coming a point you're going to have so much money you don't even know what the fuck to do with it. You're going to need me to tell you what to do with it. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. Every night eating like a king. Oh my God, thank you, Hashem. Nothing but the best foods and best hair care products. You're gonna make sure you have the best hair ever. Thank you, Hashem. They say, if you can study the Torah, if you can handle studying the Torah while you're poor, while you're fucking destitute, you can handle it when you're rich. That's the point. Of course it's the fucking point. It's up to us to figure out the means in which that we're going to sustain ourselves. Right? Each individual is responsible for finding the means in which to sustain their livelihoods. Everyone. No one's any different. I'm allowing, and the way that I'm doing it is by, God, what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do? What do I need to do? Give your testimony. Keep doing you. Just keep working on you, because what you're doing is all the work that needs to be done. You're doing all the shit work that you have to do to raise yourself up out of this situation, because apparently no one else in your family wants to do it. Everybody else wants to sit around, fucking play video games, go to fucking bachelor parties. So, we're gonna have margarita today? Who's having a margarita today? Listen, I know what everybody does when nobody goes to work. Oh, you had to work 3 days this week? You fucking poor guy. I'm sorry, Mom. You had to work 2 days? Oh, one of those days you called, they sent you home early because they didn't need you. Oh man, wow, you guys are busy. And what are you gonna do instead? Oh, you're gonna sit by the pool? You're gonna make a margarita? You're gonna go play some golf? That's what you're gonna do on your day off? Yeah, you know what, motherfucker? I don't have a fucking day off. You know the last time I had a fucking day off? When I had a fucking career. And I fucking sat home and fucking drank all goddamn day. And then at the end of my fucking weekend, think about how I didn't accomplish a fucking thing. How my life is still shit. Take a fucking week off of work. I took a week off of work just to fucking go back to work a week later and go, what the hell did I do? I didn't do anything. Fuck that. I'm the fucking boss now. And people don't like it. People don't like, you're unemployed. Nigga, you call me unemployed again, I'm gonna fucking knock one of your teeth out. I swear to fucking God. I have fucking permission. Say unemployed one more time, I'm gonna cram that word right up your ass. I'm actually gonna call your fucking bosses, tell them that how fucking they got an anti-Semitic fucking waiter. Well, get that. I'll make you unemployed, motherfucker. You're gonna pass over me. Nigga, I'll fucking pull your ass down so fucking quick. Fucking talk to me like that again. I'll slap the shit out of you. I'll slap the fuck out of you like your fucking dad never got the chance to. You're fucking using my mom as your mommy. Get a fucking job, get a fucking life, and do something with yourself, you fucking scrub. And you, the other son. You're a fucking loser too. You and your fucking shithole job. Everyone's impressed because you look pretty. Get the fuck out of here. You got this for substance. Dipshit pudding for brains. That's all I'm surrounded by my entire life are dipshits and pussies. Nothing against vaginas. My mother calls her husband a pussy. My mother calls her brothers pussies. Because they are. They're all pussies. She doesn't call her other son a pussy, but he is. And my sister's a fucking another dipshit. I don't understand. Like, that's... Like, there had to be a mix-up. But I got the fucking... I look like these idiots. I look like them. I can't even fucking escape it. And I come from a people who have zero ambition to do anything with themselves. Brother's a fucking the store manager of a fucking Hugo Boss store. He didn't even want the job. The only reason he took the job was for a raise. The fuck out of here. Least qualified person. Every single person who has a fucking job that it's a paycheck. I just need the money. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. If you're not willing to do it for free, get the fuck out. And that's why I will never, ever, ever, and that's why I'll never hire an employee. Because they don't even give a shit about the money. I learned this in the graphic industry. Don't ever rely on somebody to do your job for you because they're just gonna fuck it up. Unemployed. Nigga, if you knew all the shit that I was doing, how about this? How about this, you dumb fuck? How about this, you dumb piece of shit? I'm gonna give you my books on Aristotle. Your job is to fucking read them and then tell me about them. Let's see if you can wrap your fucking dipshit brain around some of those fucking ideas. Oh no, maybe it'll actually make you smarter. If you can get past the first fucking sentence. Yeah, because you know how to make a drink order. Go give yourself a fucking pat on the back. Good job. What are you, fucking 55 years old? You've been a waiter for your entire life? Get the fuck out of here. And you work in retail? My sister's a fucking manager at a Starbucks. Way to go, everybody. Way to fucking go. You got, I fucking pat on the backs. Pat on the backs everywhere. My whore ex-wife, what do you do? You work for daddy and you clean houses still? Do you still do that? Yeah, give yourself a fucking pat on the back too. Way to go. This one. I just want to live a simple life where I have bows in my hair. Who the fuck gave any of you people the right to sit around and do nothing with yourselves? Why don't you kill yourself? I think about all of the potential that all of the people waste, and maybe they don't. Maybe there is none. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too high of an achiever, and I'm just stuck in a fucking shithole world where fucking people want to make me fucking feel bad about myself. You ever feel that way? Like, that shit's annoying as fuck. That's annoying as fuck when motherfuckers are fucking, you're unemployed. What do you think as an unemployed person? Nigga. If you're baiting me, you did a really good job at it. Because obviously I'm fucking holding that one really. I'm holding on to that one. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. I don't want to let it go. I want to be fucking pissed off. I want to be pissed off at this guy. And then I'm walking out of the door today and he's fucking smiling. Don't you fucking smile at me. Why are you even looking at me? The fucking scrub du jour. Get the fuck out of here. You're like fucking Jerry. From Rick and Morty, Jerry. Nobody likes Jerry. Everybody fucking hates Jerry. Everyone knows Jerry's useless. I didn't know you had this much fucking hate built up inside of you. It's because I haven't eaten. I'm just venting. Yeah, but it sounds real. Hey, well, it is real. It is real. I have to fucking let it out. How the fuck else do you let go of things? Huh? How else do you let go of things other than talking about them? Right? I live in a fucking household where you can't talk. You can't talk without being talked over. So I have to fucking resort to methods like this. Plus, at the same time, this is part of my fucking job. Document what you're going through. Because it's real. Thank you, Hashem. And don't worry about what the fuck other people say. Fuck them. Remember the story of Balaam and Balak? The king who hired Balaam to curse the Jews. But every time he did, what happened? God, what did God tell him? You ain't cursing my people. Matter of fact, every time you put a curse on them, here, you're going to bless them instead. Every time you try to curse them, a blessing is going to come out of your mouth. And the king even said, I'm telling you to curse them and you're fucking blessing them. What are you doing? I can only do what God tells me to do. Well, don't do anything. Well, it's too late now. Every time you want to put a curse on them, it puts another blessing on them. It just, there's nothing we can do about it. Well, people, it's not that everybody means what they say about you. It's just that we don't understand. We don't know what you're going through. Just tell us what you're going through. Why the fuck? I am telling you what I'm going through. You don't listen. I'm telling you what I've been going through for the past fucking 6 years. What the fuck? Do you think I fucking just don't say anything? It's because you don't listen. Just because you don't listen doesn't negate the fact that I told you everything. You know everything. There's nothing that you don't know. There's absolutely nothing that you don't know. You just don't listen. This isn't new. I quit that job 6 years ago so that I can do what I'm doing now. You understand? 4 years ago, I started a fucking company so that I could legitimize everything that I was doing. Legitimize it to myself, because I don't need to fucking legitimize it to nobody fucking else. But because I live in a fucking world of incompetence, I have to be the most competent person. So that's why I put so much on myself, because I have to be the one to do all the things. Because everybody else wants to sit around and have margaritas all day. Everyone wants to go and improve their golf game. Everybody wants to go and sit in front of the pool. Because the pool boy, what's the pool boy doing right now? Is the pool boy going to work today? It was 11 o'clock when I left, so I didn't see him lying in bed still, so chances are he might not be going to work today. So what else is he doing? Standing by the pool, fucking skimming through the fucking, getting the leaves out? Is that what he's doing? Drinking some beer, smoking some pot? Is that how the pool boy's gonna spend his day, the house nigger? What do I gotta do? I gotta fucking sit and deal with this. And then what? I gotta finish dealing with this. Then I gotta go back. I'm walking back to the fucking house right now so I can go back to the gate of trust so that God can teach me how this is not a bad thing. That everything I'm doing right now, this is a good thing. And one day I'm going to remember this exact moment and I'm going to go, thank fucking God, thank you Hashem, because everything went exactly the way that it needed to go. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Good job, Derek, for putting your trust in the one fucking entity that you own, the only entity that deserves your trust. I fucking trust God more than I trust myself. And I trust myself more than I trust every other motherfucker. Including my mom, including my sister, including my brother. Those people, I don't trust them. I trust them to be exactly who I expect them to be. Exactly who I feel, sense that they are. They would sell me out in a fucking minute. The only reason that my mother keeps me around is because of some sense of obligation because I came out of her vagina. That's why. These people don't believe in me. Nobody believes in me. And I like it that way. I like it that way. Over these 6 years, my son doesn't believe in me. His mother doesn't believe in me. That's the best part about all of this, is that I don't have to worry about letting anybody down. I don't have to worry about letting anybody down because nobody believes in me in the first place. I got this fucking jerk off who thinks I'm unemployed. I got 3 fucking idiots who think I'm all unemployed and just sit around doing what? What do you think I do all day? What the fuck do you think I do all day? Are you projecting because that's what you would be doing all day? Because I know what I did. Yesterday I did 4 hours of this shit. This isn't even shit. This is so cathartic. You have no idea. Thank you, Hashem. I did this for 4 hours. I did 2 of these. In between, my mother's like, where were you yesterday? I didn't see you at all day. Fuck it, I'm out. I'm out and about. That's what I'm doing. Don't fucking ask stupid questions that you don't even want the answer to. I'm working all day. What were you doing? Sitting by the pool, drinking, having fun? On the phone, scrolling through Instagram? Watching TV, the TV's on. I smelled that dinner you guys made. That dinner smelled fucking amazing. I saw that big ass sandwich on dipshit's plate. That looked delicious. I hadn't eaten all fucking day. I know I was looking at that thing going, yum. And that fucking flour that's in the fucking kitchen too. Oh my God. I would kill for 2 cups of that. I would kill someone for 2 cups of that flour. You know what I would do with that fucking 2 cups of flour? Do you want to fucking know what I would do with 2 cups of flour? I would make 8 pieces of unleavened bread. And I would eat the living fuck out of it. So good. Because I learned how to survive off of unleavened bread. You know, we all got this fucking Restaurant Depot fucking thing. Why didn't anybody go and get like a shit ton of flour? Everybody knows, like, Derek, I don't have any money. I can't have money because I can't get a job because that would go against my religion and my business. I have to continue doing what I'm doing in the hopes, right? In the hopes. Because God tells me to trust him that the money's coming. Where? I have no fucking clue. All I know is that when it shows up, it's going to show up in a way that the only explainable way is through God. And I'm going to have these motherfuckers are going to go, hey, here's your handout. Hey, you haven't been paying rent. It's no shit. No shit. What the fuck am I paying rent for? You don't feed me. I'm only here fucking using up the resources that are at my disposal. That are here. Fuck it. If I was sitting on my ass all day, jerking off all day, then yeah, maybe I'd go, you know what, you're right. But it goes like this. If you have resources that you have readily available to you, and you're not using them for good, you don't deserve them. So, I'm gonna be the one person in the fucking house who actually uses everything for good. For God's greater good, for my greater good, because I have a future to fucking think about, because everything I'm doing right now, everything I've been doing for the past 6 years, everything I've been doing for the past 44 years, is building up for the life that I haven't even started living yet. Can you believe that? I haven't even started living my life yet. That's what God tells me. You have no idea. You have no idea of the amazing and wonderful things that are coming. What if they don't come? What do you mean, what if they don't come? Cause and effect. He who learns Torah in order to teach is rewarded with more opportunities to teach and to learn. He who learns Torah in order to do, he is rewarded with more opportunities to teach, to learn, to observe, and to do. So, try to imagine where we were before. All my life, It took all my life to get to this point right now, because now the conditions are right. The world is in the state that I need it to be in order for me to be able to do the things that I need to do to fulfill my role in God's play, in God's fucking kingdom. It took me 44 fucking years to get to this point. What's another fucking... Fuck. What's another fucking 6 years? This shit hit me. Just fucking... I don't give a fuck. I'll stay at this fucking house for as long as you need. This is happening for me. It's not happening to me. It's fucking hard. It's fucking hard as fuck. This is called living on a fucking island. That's what this is. This is living on an island. My Wilson is a name for God. Is another name for God. Right, Hashem? Wilson? Don't call me that. I am fucking pissed though. I'm like, why? I don't know. What emotion do you want me to have? Gratitude? Thank you. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm not ungrateful for feeling what I'm feeling. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm capable of even feeling these things, because you only know how many people are incapable of feeling the feelings that I'm feeling right now, which are incredibly challenging feelings. That's why I don't feel bad. That's why I can't feel bad for everything I'm saying, because it's not personal to anybody. It's personal for me. I don't like that I have to be this way. I don't like that I'm this fucking angry. I don't like that I don't like that I'm not capable of doing all of the things that I want to be doing right now. But my limited fucking brain, my little baby dipshit monkey brain, all I can think about is the fucking Chinese restaurant and sex. Well, maybe writing a book. What kind of book? Oh, a book on philosophy. On Abrahamic philosophy. A book on Abrahamic philosophy. A book on Abrahamic logic and philosophy. How's that sound? That sounds like a really cool idea. You can do that? What do you mean? Of course I can do that. I live it. I'm already doing it. But yeah, of course. It's not possible. Nothing's impossible when you have Hashem. Nothing's impossible for God. I'd be writing his book for him. No edits. Just fucking type it out, one shot. It's the most magical book ever written, because we didn't edit anything. All the typos are in there. The whole fucking thing. I probably read that. I could probably do that in about a week. Yeah. I don't know about that. Hey, fuck it. I believe it. I don't believe it's impossible. We'll put it like that. I don't believe it's impossible. The most I've ever written in one shot was 10,000 words. I said that to somebody once. I said the most I've ever written was 10,000 words. And I over-exaggerated. It was 8,000 words. That night, I wrote 10,000 words. One shot. 8 hours. Boom. Listen, I'm not saying that it was a fucking masterpiece, but the point was 10,000 words in one shot. No breaks. Where does it come from? It comes from fucking God. It comes from the fucking center of the universe that's inside my head. Why do you think I'm able to talk the way that I do? None of this is fucking scripted. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I have ideas. Like before I left the house, I was thinking about talking about the seven matters that we're supposed to be putting trust in God, absolute trust in God, which is the matters that deal with the world, this world, the world to come. But then the matters that deal with this world, those are broken up into the matters that deal with just the individual, the matters that deal with my livelihood, the matters that deal with the world to come, the matters in this world that deal with the matters of the world to come. And then how do we break that down too? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the matters, then the world to come, that's broken down into subcategories of mitzvah that we do as individuals that only affect ourselves, only harm and benefit ourselves. And then there's the mitzvahs and matters of the heart that we perform that require another person, in that mitzvahs that require another person, mitzvahs that harm or benefit someone else. That's those are the 7. Those are the 7. But that's what I'm going to go home and do right now. I'm going to go explore that more. I wanted to talk about it, but now that we go off on this rant, like I don't have I want to do certain things, but that doesn't mean I get to do what I want to do. Doesn't mean I get to talk about what I want to talk about. I want to fucking eat, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to eat what I want to eat. If my mother is home. If she thinks about it. Well, one, it's not even going to be her saying it. It's going to be God speaking through her. Hey, there's some such and such, if you want some. Yeah, please. Yeah, please. Anything at this point. Anything? Anything. Shit sandwich? Fuck it. Just give me the shit sandwich. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't think you really mean that. I don't. So not anything. No, not anything. Only whatever God prescribes. Because at the end of the day, it's up to Him. I'd like some pizza. I'd love a calzone. Oh my God, I would love a calzone. That would make me really happy. Yeah, everyone's staring at your ass cheeks like that. I don't understand, like. Just starting to get a headache. It's only gonna get worse. Tomorrow's gonna feel like shit. If I make it through this entire day, like if I sit in my room, which is where I'm going right now, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I have the strength to do this a second time today. Are you at least drinking water? I do have water. So if I haven't managed to do this a second time, like I really don't. Part of me is just saying, just fucking lie down. It's also Sabbath today, so I really shouldn't be doing much of anything. I'm supposed to be fucking resting. Well, this is how last week was too. Last week I went 48 hours. Last week I went 48 hours. That was bad. That was really fucking bad. But I have a different perspective today than I did last week. So I'm not as concerned. Last week it was punishment. This week it's a reward. This week I get to do this again. Why? Because this is how you build a bad motherfucker. That's why. I take pride in not being a fucking doughboy. This type of shit makes you tough. you can deal with more shit. The type of stress that I'm dealing with right now, because this is incredibly stressful. I want to fucking kill someone. I do. I want to take a human being's life. Just for 2 cups of fucking oil. I mean 2 cups of flour. That would make me happy. But now think of it on the other side. Like the only way out of this is to go through it. But it's the same thing with like any kind of depression or anxiety or any kind of like anguish, any kind of discomfort, dis-ease. The only way out is through. You ever go into a depression? I love depression. I love anxiety. Anxiety's like the best. It feels like you're gonna die. It doesn't feel like you're ever gonna come out of it. That's the best part. Because it feels like you're stuck. It's like rage and anger and depression. It's like, especially when it goes on for days. Especially when you got like a really good session going on. Like you feel like this is life. For the rest, for forever and ever, it's never gonna end. But then, I don't know, after a couple hours, after a couple days, after a week, you ever go through one that's a week long? You ever go through one that's 2 weeks long? Fuck. I just got out of one. Last week, 5 days ago, I got out of one. I came out of one that's been going on for 5 days, or for 2 weeks. Little reprieves here and there. Like the third quarter moon, I've mapped out my emotional cycles. So right around the third quarter moon is where things start to suck. That's where things start to suck. Then we hit the new moon. New moon is right when something will take place to give you enough hope to go, okay, I'm not completely fucked. Like the third quarter moon teaches us to lose all hope. That there is no hope. The new moon lights the spark, right? To go, oh fuck, thank God. Thank God, I thought that was gonna last forever. And then comes the week of the new moon to the first quarter moon. Now that's the fucking worst. That is a goddamn nightmare. Because you got that little bit of hope, you get that little tiny spark. Everything and anything that could possibly happen to rip that, to snuff the fucking light out comes along. It's a goddamn nightmare. It feels like it. But it's every day. I mean, it's every month. It's a cycle. And when I think of it in relation to the life I used to live, But, the hell? Emergency number, no. Why is that going off? Toxic, medical, it's alright. Ah! Ah, shit. I accidentally called the emergency line. And then I hung up on them. It's alright. Let's see what happens. Yeah, learning to work with lunar cycles. That's a 6-year project. It ain't easy, especially as a man. Like we have no foundation, nothing to work off of. Like all that work that I've been doing, that's all original. I did get help from witches though, because I didn't know that women can do that. I didn't know that women can synchronize themselves with the moon. It's society that takes us out of sync with nature. And that's part of what I do as well, is learn how to resynchronize my body with the natural cycles, but then also the divine aspect of nature as well, because there is that. Part of my job is to figure out how to demonstrate that not only does God exist, but that he/she is an active force in our daily lives. And anyone who says anything different is a liar, intentionally or not. And you're doing this with no food in your stomach. Yep. 24 hours. So far, I can already started making noises. And what did you eat before that? 2 pieces of bread with some Greek yogurt and a little bit of salsa. I mean, the pieces of bread were... I ain't talking about fucking Jiffy. I mean, Wonder Bread. 2 pieces of sourdough. Fuck, I'm so hungry. I want some unleavened. I would love to make some unleavened. I love making unleavened because it makes me feel independent. Because I'm actually doing it myself. I'm not relying on somebody else to do something for me. It feels good. And I learned how to do it. God taught me how to do it. So I started with Passover, actually, and the Festival of Unleavened Bread. That's why on the 13th of Nisan, the eve of Passover, preparation day, was the first time I went under $1 in my bank account, because I spent my last $3.50 buying a bag of flour so that I could feast on unleavened bread as ordained by the Lord. Because that's the rule. 7 days. The festival of unleavened bread. Don't eat anything else but unleavened bread for 7 days. I did as best as I could. I did as best as I could. I think I made about like 5 or 6 days. 5 days. There was like 2 days I didn't. But then I continued making unleavened bread afterwards too. So last time I made it was only not too long ago. I like making it. Feels good making it. Feels awesome eating it too. I cannot wait to eat. I'm so excited. We're back at the house, 2 hours. Good. Did great. Thank you, Hashem. I'm proud of myself too. I love you too.